Hello and welcome back. I hope we've had time to drink some water, clear our throats. Remember the sound that we were doing? Yes. I hope you are having a lot of pleasure. Yes, pleasure, and there is no confusion. Good. Let's go on. Just the last bit of the day that is left with us. We have another 45 minutes. In the next 45 minutes, let's practice these sounds a little more and we'll be done for the day. We've done a lot of very important sounds today. Let's carry on. We did sentences with the th sound. Th. Think your thoughts through and through. He threw 3 free throws. 33,333. I think there will be thunder and rain on Thursday. In the thick of summers, Kathy takes 3 baths a day. Ruth and Thelma feel lethargic on Thursdays. I think Thelma thwarted the thought of throwing the theme. Okay, now match the following idioms with their meanings. We have the idioms down to earth, foaming at the mouth, jaws of death, long in the tooth, and throw in a towel. And we have our options in front: to give up, old in age, practical or humble, unpretentious. We have being in a dangerous or very deadly situation, or to be enraged and show it. So down to earth, the first one is practical or humble, unpretentious. That is down to earth, somebody who's down to earth. Down to earth, practical or humble, unpretentious. Foaming at the mouth is to be enraged and show it. Is foaming at the mouth, means it's literally getting mad with anger. Is to be enraged. Enraged means extremely angry. To be enraged and show it. Jaws of death, we have being in a dangerous or very deadly situation. Long in the tooth is old in age, and throw in a towel, we have to give up. So down to earth, practical or humble, foaming at the mouth, to be enraged and show it. Jaws of death, being in a dangerous or deadly situation. Long in the tooth, getting old in age, and of course throw in a towel is to give up. Yes, different ways of getting to practice the th sound. Words with the voiced the sound. That is what we come to next. The, though, though. How is this being produced? The, though, that, though, that, either or either, whether. It's the same one. It's the same sound. That was unvoiced. This is voiced. Voiced, as we said many times ago, is that it is vibrated. Absolutely, it's vibrated. So, though, that, either, whether, bother, lather, L-A-T-H, lather, father, mouths, wreath, bathe, bequeath, therefore. So, what is happening with th at the initial, middle and final? Yes, at the initial, middle, final, we have the initial the, though, that. Yes, though, that, clearly heard. In the middle, we have the, we had whether, bother, either, lather. Yes, also clearly heard. What happens with the at the end. What is happening? Like mouths, mouth, wreath, bathe, bequeath. Generally, the sound at the end becomes a unvoiced again when it is at the end. Yes, as we can see at the end. So generally we'll say for this sound we have the initial and the middle at the strongest. The, though, that, either, whether, bother, lather, father, mouth, and it's become unvoiced again. Wreath, unvoiced again. Bathe, there it is a bit voiced. Bathe, it's not bathe, but it's bathe. Bequeath, again unvoiced. Therefore, initial clearly heard with a the. We have another fill in the blanks activity where the options are not given to you, but I'm sure once you read the sentences you will be able to put in the correct word and with a voiced the sound. She decided to go for a picnic with her family as the dash was favorable. High quality work soaps don't make too much. As a young boy, Suresh loved to. Vanya could not see her friend dash in pain. The children could dash easy after finishing their exams. We have some of the words already that we've done here that will fit in here. So, she decided to go for a picnic with her family as the weather was favorable. The weather. High quality work soaps don't make too much lather. Yes, high quality work soaps don't make too much lather. As a young boy, Suresh loved to bathe in the Ganges. Bathe, at the end, bathe. Vanya could not see her friend wreath in pain. Wreath in pain is when one is in a lot of pain and the body is contorting. That is in pain, wreathing in pain. The children could dash easy after finishing their exams. What could this be out of all of these? Or another one, the children could breathe easy. They could breathe easy means not that they had breathing problems earlier, it's just that the children could breathe easy because there was no more stress. The children could breathe easy after finishing their exams. Sentences with the voiced sound. Though their leather boots were torn, they kept trekking through the jungle. Though their leather boots were torn, I hope you're saying it after me. Though their leather boots were torn, they kept trekking through the jungle. Through. The teacher told the students not to bother her while she was setting the examination papers. The teacher told the students, please remember the t sounds to be heard correctly. All the other sounds also have to fall into place. The teacher told the students, students, not at the end, not to bother her while, w in the beginning, while she was, was as or sound, was setting the examination papers. Yes, it was rather unfair it was rather unfair on Mohit's part to blame his friend for his failure. Yes, it was rather unfair on Mohit's part to blame his friends for his failure. The professor asked his class to gather enough information before starting the project. The professor asked his class to gather enough information before starting the project. Then we have his mother asked his father to get some clothes for his brother. His mother asked his father to get some clothes for his brother. Yes, we have the next one. Pick the right option. We are doing the th and the sound. So remember, our main objective is to get the clarity of th and the. Okay, I like to take a bath or bathe every morning. I like to take a bath or bathe every morning. He got some cloth or clothes. He got some cloth or clothes for the curtains. He got hurt on his thigh or thigh in an accident. Thigh or thigh. On Christmas you put a wreath or wreath. Yes, on Christmas you put a wreath or wreath on your door. The doctor checked his breath or breathe. The doctor checked his breath or breathe. Yes, so the bath or bathe. I like to take a bath or bathe every morning. I like to take a bath every morning. Had the A not been there, had the not been there, then we could have said I like to bathe every morning. Of course, both would be correct, but right now we have the so I like to take a bath in the morning or every morning. Get some cloth for the curtains. He got hurt on his thigh in an accident, T-H-I-G-H, thigh, in an accident. On Christmas, you put a wreath, R-E-A-T-H. Yes, on Christmas you put a wreath on your door. And the doctor checked his breath, B-R-E-A-T-H. So this was the th and the sound. Yes, very important, very simple sounds to do and to correct. Our most important sound was the j that we did earlier. The th and the, an easy sound to correct and to have a clarity of. Our next sound that we come to, just a half an hour, very simple sound, very simple session that we have, is the r and the l sound. Is the r and the l sound. The r and the l, how do we say the r? As it says here, the r is a palato-alveolar sound. I hope all you teachers, we just have the last half an hour, you've been very patient, you've been excellent, you've been practicing a lot, with a lot of energy, with a lot of concentration for the past 3.5 hours. Just the last half an hour more and we'll be through. So please give me your attention, give me your concentration, a little more energy, and we'll be fine. Yes? Okay, the r sound. R is a palato-alveolar sound. Palato-alveolar means the palate, the roof of the mouth, and the alveolar, the ridge behind the top teeth. That's where the sound is produced. There is only a partial closure at some point in the mouth. Yes? The airstream can escape on one or both sides of the contract. The air can pass continuously and the sound is continuous. Very important, the sound is continuous. The r sound, r. Please remember, for us, there is no vibration in this. For example, there is no r. That is not the sound. It is only the r. How is that happening? The tongue is curling up in the mouth, becoming a curl just behind the ridge above the teeth and the roof of the mouth to say r. R. If you take it too further back in the mouth, we get a r. R. That's not what we are saying. What we are saying is just a slight curl of the tongue above the top teeth, behind the ridge and the roof to say r. R. Yes? Words with a r sound: raise, ramp. Please notice the difference. I am not saying ramp. I am not saying raise. R. That sound is not being produced. That's the difference. That is what we have to do when we are producing the clear English sounds. It's not r. It is not raise. It is not round. R. How is that being produced? When you need to produce a r, this sound, what is happening? The tongue is shaking right behind the top teeth next to the ridge. R. The tongue is straight. What we are saying is the tongue has to curl up a little bit, go r, r, towards the back of the mouth, towards the roof, but just behind that upper ridge to say r, and it gives you a softer r sound. Most of the times you'll see how initial, middle and final, the r sound will also of course change. We have initial position r, raise, ramp, rights, yes, raise, ramp, rights, initial position. In the middle position we have tram, tram, trick, trip, troop, tricky, and at the end we have panther, yes, temper. So what happens generally at the end? R at the final position, the r gets a vowel sound. Absolutely, it becomes an like panther. We won't say panther. That's what we have to stop doing. We have to stop saying the r at the end. We don't say panther, it's panther. We don't say river, we say river. It becomes a vowel sound. So please remember, it takes on to the vowel sound that's preceding it, and the r becomes nearly silent at the final position. Panther, exactly. Yes, river. Perfect, good. Let's look at the words with a r sound. Raise, ramp, rights, panther, panther, round, not round but round. There is no flapping of the tongue, there is no vibration of the tongue. The tongue is curling up in the mouth a little bit behind the top teeth to say r. Yes, round, rim, tram. Get the clear t that we've done earlier. Tram, t, tram. Tricky, tricky. Horrible, yes, horrible. Some of the times my trainees look at me and say this word out very well. Horrible, but I know I'm not. Horrible. Frightened, I sound frightened. Temper, temper. Please get the clear t and the r at the end. Temper. It's not temper, it's temper. And we've done softer pers as well, so per, temper, panther. Okay? Pronunciation rules, r in the beginning, it's written right here. If the word begins with r, it is emphasized. Return, response, remember, restore, reader. Well, it's not emphasized, we do pronounce it. The only thing that we are saying is it is not a flappy, a sort of vibrating r, r. The r that we produce in English, the tongue does not touch anywhere in the mouth. That's the simple rule. Don't let the tongue touch anywhere in the mouth when we have to produce the r in English. R. It curls up to say r. Return, response, remember, restore, reader. Initial position r. Middle position r. R in the middle, but before a vowel is emphasized. Okay, r in the middle, but before a vowel it is emphasized. For example, break. Now we are not saying brr. Yes, break. It should not touch anywhere in the mouth, the tongue. It should just curl up to say break. Break. Absolutely. Brought. Brought. Create. Create. Grazing. Grazing. Parent. Parent. Grammar. Current. Yes, break, brought, create, grazing, parent, grammar, current. That was r in the middle, and we have r at the final. No, sorry, r in the middle. Again we have r in the middle, but before a consonant. This was before a vowel that we've just done. Before a consonant is silent. For remember, market. The r is not market. That's the rule that we have to give all our trainees and also remember for ourselves. R before a consonant is silent. It's not market, it's market. It's not bark, it's bark. The r is silent before a consonant. Yes, not stark but stark. It's not stardust, it's stardust. It's not sharpen, it's sharpen. It's not darkest, it's darkest. So r in the middle before a vowel it is heard, before a consonant it is silent. Simple? Yes. Return, response, remember, restore, reader, initial position. Middle before a vowel, break, brought, create, grazing, parent. Grammar, current. Yes, all middle position, but before a vowel you can hear the r, and a r in the middle position before a consonant is the r is silent. So we have market, bark, stark, stardust, sharpen, and darkest. R is silent in the middle position. Yes? Okay, r at the end. If the r is in the end, it is silent, just like we said earlier. Better, creator, barber. Yes, better, creator, barber, farmer, pleasure. The j sound, remember, pleasure, master. So please remember, r at the final position, it is silent. Please remember these three rules for pronunciation of the r sound. Better, creator, barber, farmer, pleasure, master. Okay, rapid fire round. Which is heavier, a balloon or a hammer? Okay, where would you find flowers? In a park or a bench? A rapid fire, it means that you have to ask these questions. These are very simple questions. You don't give time to think. You have to just ask them one after the other. This way it just energizes the students as well, and also gives them very little time to think. They have to come up with the correct answer with, of course, for us always the correct sound in place. Okay, ask them. I will ask you a rapid fire. I'll ask you a question. You can do this with each other as well. Give me the correct answer. Okay, which is heavier, a balloon or a hammer? Where would you find flowers, a park or a bench? Which is more elastic, a glass or a rubber band? As you can see, these are very simple questions, but in a rapid fire means you have to ask them very quickly, one after the other. The person who you are asking should not have time much to think. He just or she just has to give an answer. Has Nicholas watered the plants or fed them? What will you use for reading if you have a a poor eyesight, a pair of glasses or goggles. Yes. What should I use to cut papers? A pair of scissors or a knife. What would you use in your kitchen? A dishwasher or a television? Yes. What would a mathematics student use? A canvas or a calculator? What should I use to click a photograph? A computer or a camera? Well, nowadays you can do anything with a computer, but let's just go with our usual way of doing things. Yes. What should I use to click a photograph, a computer or a camera? If Sarah is offered chocolate shake, should she drink it or eat it? Which is the first date of the 3rd month? Yes, these are very simple things. This is just for you to practice the target R sound, and the students as well. And also what happens with this is it just is energizing. If it's getting too much, if you need to bring up energy levels, this is a wonderful activity for you teachers to do with students. We have a few questions here. You can keep adding to these questions. These are very simple questions, very basic questions. It's just they have to be asked one after the other in quick, very limited time, and you will see how the answers gets jumbled. So, which is the first date of the 3rd month? If you're a cardiologist, what will you treat, a heart or a knee? Will the moon be bright or dull on a full moon night? Should Tom perform an experiment casually or carefully? Okay, which is heavier, a balloon or a hammer? Is a balloon or a hammer? What is heavier? Is a hammer. Where would you find flowers? In the park or on a bench? A park. Which is more elastic, a glass or a rubber band? A rubber band, of course. Has Nicholas watered the plants or fed them? He has watered them. What will you use for reading if you have poor eyesight? A pair of glasses. Pair, r at the end. Yes, silent, pair and not pair. Yes, remember it's not pair, it's pair, air. Yes, the r is silent and we've done the air sound already. What should I use to cut papers? A pair of scissors or a knife? You can use a pair of scissors. Pair and scissors both have the r sound. What would you use in your kitchen? A dishwasher. What would a mathematics student use? It would be a calculator. What should I use to click a photograph? A camera. If Sarah's offered a chocolate shake, should she drink it or eat it? She should drink it. Which is the first date of the 3rd month? It doesn't really matter which month, the first date is always the first. And it's not first, it's not first, it's first. Yes, first. If you are a cardiologist, what would you treat? A heart. Cardiologist is a doctor of the heart. Will the moon be bright or dull on a full moon night? Obviously, if it's full moon, it will be bright. And should Tom perform an experiment casually or carefully? Well, if he wants no harm to come to himself, then he should perform it carefully. Yes, sentences with the r sound. Lisa is lying on the floor, reading literature and drinking lemonade. Lisa is lying on the floor, reading literature and drinking lemonade. Lopez loves to drive the Lexus locally. Lopez loves to drive the Lexus locally. The lieutenant, please remember the pronunciation of this, the lieutenant. It's not lieutenant, but lieutenant. Yes, the lieutenant was lost in Luxembourg. The lieutenant was lost in Luxembourg. Luxembourg, a very tiny, small country in Europe. The lieutenant was lost in Luxembourg. Ralph, the Red Baron, rode a retired horse to the parade. There should not be an at the end after retired and before horse. Ralph, the Red Baron, rode a retired horse to the parade. And roses are not always red. As we've seen, roses are not always red. That was the r sound. We have the next sound. Stay with me. I know all of us are getting anxious, but stay with me. We have the l sound. We have the l sound. It's an alveolar sound. Words with the l sound. Couplet, simply, slow, fly. Pathless, leave, allure, pulled. Uncle, Ashley, million, told. London, kettle, bottle, allow. L, very simple, L.